Hi, I'm Anna,
And I'm Ben.
and we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Death Note, episode 33. It's like a 3v3 right now on Team Light.
Makes sense by
yeah.
the number of the episode.
Yeah. I like that. 3v3. So we have Light as team captain. We have Kiyomi as the speaker of the group.
The voice.
And we have Mikami as the hand. On Team L, we have deceased L, his ghost, Nier, and then Mello, my little meow meow. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm hyped up that we've like added new pieces to the board.
Yes,
you know,
it's so compelling. I think it's amazing, this addition of Light having to trust to some extent someone else other than Misa, because with Misa he knew for a fact that she was going to do things for him because she was so enamored with both him and Kira.
yeah,
And so he could use that. And here he only had to trust what the person was putting forth through social media and through being on camera. He never got to meet Mikami in person first and get a sense of them and their dedication. With Kiyomi, he has met her before, so he kind of knows exactly what she would be willing to do, and he knows that he still has some type of power over her, a power of attraction. So I think it's super interesting that he has chosen again to give the Death Note away, like how he did with the Otsuba group. But the difference is this time he's given it to someone who has the same ideals as he does, as Kira.
a fanatic of
Yes.
Kira.
And I just love that. I wonder if Light knew that this person was a prosecutor.
I think because he filled Mikami filled out the one like paper to send to Kira's kingdom that gave his age and occupation, right?
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think Light ever read them. If he did, then he would know.
I mean, it's just. And then Mikami, we got backstory on him of like what he was like as a kid. And I was like feeling it. I was following it until he brought up his mom's death being like a good thing for him. Because she didn't agree with him so often sticking his neck out to the point of getting beat up every day, basically.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very normal mom thing to say. Because you don't want your kid to get beat up.
Yeah.
And he did learn by growing up that childhood bullies are a very different breed of person compared to adults that commit crime. And he has realized that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Misa find out about
Well, that's my
Kiyomi?
worry. I'm going into this episode with one worry, and it's not like a it's not like a worry for the plot, because I know whatever is chosen in the plot is going to be the right move for the story. But
I trust.
there's like a little bit of me that's like, oh my gosh, is Misa about to get dumped? Like, I'm curious. I'm so curious. Because is he going to keep stringing her along? I mean, Misa's kind of feisty, so eventually she's going to try to figure out why Light isn't coming to see her. And she's going to try to sneak out past Mochi, and she's going to get into trouble in some way, shape, or form. And she's going to be jealous if she ever finds out. I mean, Light might be trying to make this relationship with Kiyomi public.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But Light is like trying like to the...
He's, what's it called when you're a double agent?
Yeah, like towards the police, the task force, he's trying to investigate Kiyomi, right?
And he would be dating her and romancing her in order to try to figure out who Kira is.
Correct.
but he would have to go some form of public with that relationship,
Very
especially
true.
when she's a celebrity and people are going to find out, and Misa's probably going to see pictures of them together. And anyway, I'm like, where's Rem when you need Rem
Yo,
to protect Misa right now? Like,
Light's kind of like Pete Davidson. Like Light was dating like this famous actress in Misa, and then like it's been a couple of years, you know, maybe she like kind of fell to the back of like the social atmosphere, so we had to jump ship and then go to somebody who's kind of in right now, you know.
I'm trying to say that Kiyomi is like Kim Kardashian.
I didn't say it.
Okay,
You ready?
episode 33.
Let's go. If Misa gets dumped, I need like a Zuko style episode of like Misa alone, and it needs to be like her getting her groove back.
Yeah, but what I'm worried is, why wouldn't Light just kill her if he doesn't need her anymore? Maybe he has to keep her alive in order to like protect himself, like suspicion wise.
Well, yeah, but also if he killed Misa, like she's not an active risk to him right now, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking is, but like, wouldn't it be a risk to him if she starts getting really jealous and finds
No.
out about this?
I mean, she doesn't know that he's Kira anymore.
Yeah, but she could stumble into getting in the way of his investigation. Fake investigation.
Yeah.
I don't think he would like having someone following him all the time and trying to mess with whatever plan he has in place. Especially if he wants to keep Kiyomi happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't he tell her she was the goddess, or was going to be the goddess of the new world?
Yeah. It's a cool shot.
Yeah.
The second L, and the person I think is Kira, can only be one man. Now that things have come this far, it's my turn to go to Japan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Commander Rester,
Now everyone's gonna be in
I'm
Japan.
afraid I need you to...
So you would like me to stay in New York while you're gone?
Not at all.
Then what's the point of me coming back there?
Truth is, I've never made travel arrangements or boarded a flight on my own before.
Aww.
That's why I need you to come back, so you can escort me.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh.
Do you think when he eats, they do like the airplane spoon?
Yes.
This is Nier. I want to speak to El.
This is L. What is it you want from us?
I'm in Japan now.
He's in Japan? Why tell me? He's up to something.
For the time being, it's a given that if we want to get any closer to capturing Kira, we'll have to keep an eye on Kiyomi Takada and NHN in general. Inform her that as of now, several SPK members have entered Japan in order to catch and arrest Kira. To lure Kira out of hiding. Well, Kira won't be able to resist such an opportunity. Knowing him, he won't run. Instead, he'll try to kill us before we get too close. And that's where I'll beat him at his own game.
Beat me at my own
It's a
game.
direct challenge.
Oh!
Oh! We used to get imagery like this with
I
L.
am in Japan as we speak. Then we'll be quite close to each other. Who knows? We might even
direct
have the
challenge,
chance to
oh my
meet
god.
face to face.
I hope so.
When that time comes, we'll finish this Kira matter once and for all.
Definitely. From the very beginning and even now, it's been a one-on-one fight against L. And even though he's dead, the battle's just shifted to
That
his heirs.
sounded like something L would have said,
Yeah.
didn't it? Telling him how many agents they had.
This long battle will end, and I can finally begin my reign at the top.
L is Light Yagami, and he's also Kira. For now, we'll call
Specially
him L.
made.
Someone who has the notebook and is currently using it. We'll call him X-Kira.
Ex-Kira.
He has definitely made the deal and acquired the Shinigami eyes. El Kira and X Kira can't communicate directly. Given the situation as it now stands, there are two ways to win against Kira. The simple way. We arrange to kill both El Kira and X Kira and confiscate the notebook.
Easier said than done.
We will never resort to that.
Why not?
That's not the way we work, Commander. We kill those two and the murders stop. Such ex post facto justification will not be tolerated. That's not the way El and I do things. Because that would be an insult. El entrusted this case to those who came after El.
I like that. It's nice to hear him talk in a way that's not just I'm going to beat Mello. Like, I'm going to solve this case as maybe Elle would, you know?
I think you should look through them, even if they are just letters from fans.
You're right.
Keep calm as you read this note and the ones that follow. Make sure not to let the people listening to this conversation hear your reactions.
Light's getting down to business.
You shouldn't only be a spokesperson.
Let's get
Your
down
voice
to
should be heard as well.
business.
Reach out to Kira. Tell him what you think he needs to know. I have a different job for T. I want you to begin judging and punishing people as Kira. It's all right, Kiyomi. You can do this. I'm sure you'll be able to send Kira information.
All right. I'll do it.
We nailed it. That's our Light for you. He's good.
So T is Mikami, right?
I guess.
Teru.
Delete.
Oh.
Delete.
I like how he says it out loud every time.
You are to send me a fan letter that I'll be able to recognize as yours. You will also enclose something else in the envelope. 5 blank pages from the notebook. You have to stop using the real notebook. However, you must continue entering names in a fake notebook.
A fake?
Make a notebook that looks as close to the original as possible. And act as if you're killing people by using this decoy.
Interesting.
God, what are you planning? It's not my place to question God. His will is absolute.
Interesting.
My job is to do what God wishes.
How he talks about it is so interesting.
It really is. Huh.
That it's like not his place to question this, and oh my gosh.
It's a replacement for Kira's kingdom.
God, what's wrong with these people?
Today, Miss Takara will introduce her 4 new female bodyguards who were selected after a rigorous screening process. The first is the winner of the 22nd
SPK agent.
Oyama.
Good
The
catch.
second is a former CIA agent, Miss Hal Lindner.
If there's an SPK member among these bodyguards, it would have to be Hal Lindner.
We haven't seen Mello in a while.
In Shinjuku's busy quarters was
Who would
apprehended.
I choose to be ex-Kira? Someone who had a close, intimate relationship with her before her selection.
Also, Kira will not forgive any crime, no matter how small. You should assume that any person alive is a viable target.
Whoa.
What?
I'd like to hear Kira's voice. I want to hear his thoughts once again. It's
Oh, he's
our
connecting
duty to
that Teru and Kiyome probably
If there are
met.
no words
Yeah.
or orders from Kira, then we
This
have
music's
only one
good.
choice. We need to think for ourselves, determine what he wants most, and make our own decisions from there.
El Kira is like Yagami. Could ex-Kira be Teru Mikami?
Nier's just that good.
Everything seems to fit into place.
That's what I've been asking. So tell me why I'm not the headliner.
That's why we should be taking precautions.
Uh-oh.
Kiyomi
Girl fight.
doesn't even realize that Light's just using her for his investigation.
Don't say that. You might end up dead if she hears you.
Duh, I know that. That's why I whispered it quietly. She snickered at me. I'm gonna go kick her.
Oh, hang on.
What were you trying to do?
Lindner, that young lady is actually a very good friend of mine. Please, you shouldn't be so rough with her.
Kiyomi's just high-roading her.
Misa.
This is probably my least favorite Misa outfit.
Yeah.
Nier, this is Aizawa. What is it?
I have a question regarding surveillance for El and Takada's meetings. Are you recording both audio and video feeds of their conversations?
No.
If they're only using wiretaps, then it's safe to assume that El Kira and Ex Kira have found a way to contact each other through Takada.
To be blunt, what's important is that El
That looks
starts focusing
exactly
his
like
attention
Takada
Right.
was saying.
Takada. In the meantime, we'll use the opportunity to investigate Mikami.
Yeah, but Light still has his plan ahead with Kiyomi getting the
5
pages.
I'm beginning to think he can't be ex-Kira.
No, there is a very high probability that Mikami is ex-Kira. Please be very careful.
Listen, Misa. Takada would like to have dinner with you this evening, just the two of you.
What?
That Kiyomi. Good idea.
Misa kind of looks like Mello, like right now with her outfit.
Should have dinner with the main performer at least
He picked it out for her.
Tell her, okay.
Is Kiyomi gonna kill Misa?
Maybe? I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
No. I mean, if she really loves light and she wants to be the goddess, you know? It could be a jealousy thing.
This music, man. Christmas time, Christmas cheer.
A night owl, anyway. Well,
Whoa.
what is it?
I'm not really sure how to answer a question like that. Light must be pretty busy. How do you two manage?
Why, you? Things are great between us.
God, I love
He's
Misa
more
so
affectionate
much.
than he looks, at least with me. In fact, he starts clinging to me as soon as he gets in the door every night. Actually, I should probably tell you since you are the MC. I'm going to announce my engagement to Light at the Pop Music Festival.
Does he know about
No.
He does. It's an engagement. It's not as if I can get engaged to myself.
If you're able to, that is.
What do you mean if I'm able to? What, are you not gonna let me announce it? Or maybe it's something else. Maybe you're gonna get Kira to kill me.
Only Kira can decide who he's going to punish. I have nothing to do with his decisions. Besides, I've always thought of you as a good friend, Misa. You
Oh
shouldn't
my
say such
God.
terrible things. I don't have any intention of killing anyone, no matter how horrible they might be.
But I know for sure that Light's gonna catch him soon. Oh, yeah. And as for you, you'll probably be executed.
Miss Takada.
Listen, Kiyomi. Please, join me, Kiyomi.
Does she feel like she knows the secret and Misa doesn't, so she feels better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that face.
I find this unpleasant.
Oh, yeah? I feel the same.
Obviously, this was a bad idea. I should have waited until you grew up and learned a few manners before I invited you to dinner.
Oh, I'm older than you, Kiyomi. And anyways, you're being childish for storming out in the middle of dinner over a silly little comment.
Yo.
She's so happy.
I know.
She feels like she really is Light's #1 now. And she's really a normal girl now.
Are you okay?
They just talked about Light Yagami. If you read between the lines, they were arguing over which one was his lover.
Your thoughts?
All I can determine is this. Light Yagami is popular with the lady.
Nier, please be serious about this.
It is serious if they're both truly in love with him. They will not easily betray him. In fact, they'll likely do whatever he asks.
I really like the storyboarding this episode. The scenes are really nice.
I also like the Christmas kind of being in the background.
Yeah.
Please stop.
I mean, wearing a short skirt like that in the winter, it's an invitation.
Please, someone.
Cell phone.
Mikami's just taken out a notebook.
He's writing something in it. Could that be it? He's getting off the train.
He did what Light wanted, right? He is acting like he's writing in the Death Note, but obviously sent a text first.
Oh, he must have
to
immediately texted that
Kiyomi,
picture.
probably.
No, but Kiyomi doesn't have the eyes.
I'm thinking that he texted her his name. Oh, but she could not have seen him.
Well, he can look over and see the name, and then he sent a picture.
Did he
So he
send a
must have,
picture?
while the interaction was happening, he must have texted her the name and then snapped the picture.
Yeah.
And then fake wrote it.
Yeah.
Because the guy was messing with the girl probably for a couple minutes prior to this.
Yeah. What a piece of shit this guy is. So did we see him like bring up his phone and take a picture? I thought we did.
Yeah, he like literally brings it up, but he could have been texting in his lap first.
Yeah.
And then snapped the picture. Also, he didn't have the camera sound not on, so he's not trying to be inconspicuous. Unless there's like, did old phones, could you make that quiet?
I'm sure. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, do you think, okay, so let's like play this out. Light already kind of assumed that Nier would track Mikami.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole interaction would happen. How does this, like, end up helping Light? Like, let's say Mikami is either, like, arrested or detained. They find out the notebook isn't real if they're willing to test it.
Right, they could test it, because we know that L's successor would test it.
Exactly.
Because that's what L would have done.
Yeah.
They'll test it and realize that it's fake, and this guy has been tailing him all along and will know that he never handed a notebook to someone. So they'll be like, oh, Mikami was just pretending, because he fantasizes about Kira, so isn't it safe to say he might fantasize about being Kira?
Well,
so he could be playing.
How do you explain the death right here, then? Then I would think, okay, the next, like, logical thing is, like, okay, he texted somebody, then would they assume that Kiyomi is Kira?
Unless, if you think about, like, serial killers, or, like, if you fantasize about killing someone, he could keep a collage of the people that he wanted dead or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard because does he know that he doesn't seem like an idiot. He has to know that this guy that's been following him around is an agent.
Agreed. And he had they had him write all the previous names in the book, right? Or continue writing names in this one. So
this is supposed to look like it's always been Kira's book.
Do you think Light is thinking that whoever, like, gets the notebook next, whether it's like Nier or Mello, wouldn't test it out? Because, like,
I think he's banking on them testing
but he knew. You do?
Well, because it's going to be a fake.
Yeah. So you think that Light's banking on them testing out the fake one?
I think he knows that if it's L's successor, they will definitely test it.
Yeah, but that if they test it, find out it's not real, that's not going to help him out, you know?
It helps him out because their trail has dried up again.
Has it?
If he keeps stalling them, he can get closer and closer to finding out what their names are.
Okay, that's very true. It seems like a stall rather than a way out, because they already have, like, the knowledge that Kiyomi talks to Kira. They know that there's no video. There is obviously knowledge that Light and Kiyomi are together and, like, hang out. Like,
it seems at this point, is he trying to push Mikami not under the bus per se, but is he trying to kind of knock him over to keep running so that, like, the people trip over him?
Maybe
that are chasing him.
I'm trying to think if there's any possible way that Mikami could get Nier's, like, see Nier, and then, like, reiterate his face and name to Kiyomi. It is the plot that L's going for, like, to try to, like you said, sacrifice Mikami to get an exchange, like,
because Mikami has the eyes.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, if Mikami gets investigated by the SPK and gets pulled in by them, he could see what all of their names are, right?
But then how do you get that maybe you get that information back to Light, because then they have no reason to hold you, because there's proof that the death note isn't real.
Is it real? Exactly.
Yeah. So then he's released back out.
Banking on that sort of thing, but then he's banking on Nier not being smart enough to realize that Teru is the hand right now.
Even if he did, there's no legal precedent of holding
him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If the death note is not
cares
real.
About that. Mello wouldn't care about that.
Well, yeah, Mello's just underground everything. But I'm wondering, Mello has to be up to something right now, because I'm sure he has stopped surveying Misa. At this point.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Mello is at a disadvantage. He does not have any of the lavish resources that Nier does.
I mean, I thought it was compelling that it was, like, higher ground, more like acknowledged by everyone, the SPK, the CIA, that sort of thing, and versus, like, the underground. Like, both could totally have a lot of money coming in.
Yeah.
So I did think it was super compelling, but I don't really know what situation Mello's in right now, because Light kind of totally messed with him and all of the Goonies that were...
Yeah, I really like this episode made me like Nier a hell of a lot more too. Like I like building up his character is really nice. I think he's funny. I think he's cute. Like
Did you feel that it almost painted, like, showed us more and showcased more that he is younger in this episode?
yes, I don't know his actual age.
Right. I just liked that it seemed to
yeah.
really paint this picture of this young genius chasing after Kira.
I really liked that they like showed dialogue to show that he took being L's successor seriously, other than just a game. Like that really helped his character for me. I cannot believe how he found out it was Mikami. I mean, it makes sense.
I wondered, I mean, if that's where Light chose him from, you know?
I know, but like, I guess Nier is just that good. Like, if I would assume Light is like choosing people and doing all this stuff with a thought that he needs to be so like 5 steps ahead that it's not going to be the most obvious person he'd choose, not going to be the least obvious. Like, it's going to be like, you know.
I mean, think about it. What if Light has a whole plan of like every hand that it's going to be passed to? Like, what if there's a hand he has planned after Teru eventually either gets caught or he can't be used anymore?
He very well could have a plan for that. I just like, that being said, there's not too many more episodes in the series.
Oh, yeah.
But like, so I was just like a little taken aback that Nier's just that good, that he had like a ultra instinct, like earthquake moment that his eyes start glowing and then he's just like, found you, bitch. Like, that was crazy to me.
I mean, they had him ask the question about how that whoever is the hand would have had to have a previous interaction with Kiyomi Takeda.
Yeah.
And then he did his diligence. He did his work. He figured out the exact correct suspect.
I cannot believe the Kiyomi Misa scenes. I love it. I am so happy that we got to see it.
Gosh, I feel bad for Misa. She is very immature.
I love her as a character,
but I do love her as a character. But I also like Kiyomi as a character. Like, I don't hate her as a character, either. I think her kind of the comparison of her versus Misa is super interesting. I mean, I think the task force said last episode that Kiyomi is a better match romantically for Light compared to Misa, and so it's very interesting to see two women that are so different both falling in love with the same guy and being willing to be used by that guy.
Yeah.
Because even if they can be so different, their ideals of justice still match up. Because both of them believe that Kira is in the right. But now Misa thinks that Light is just a police officer. So she's like, well, I love Light more than I am thankful that Kira killed, that criminal. So I am going to support the guy that I love.
I love how extra Nier is. Like, that he had thought about like all of these like scenarios about like Kira X and like the whole like situation, placed a special order for custom made Legos to match everybody's likeness, and a fake prop gun to use in his explanation of the situation to his underlings.
The prop gun is the cherry on top.
It's like, and like to go, he went the extra mile.
He did.
Like, and I'm wondering if like that could be like a detriment to him. Maybe if take away his toys, I wonder if he couldn't function. I wonder if he could not solve a case without it. Yeah.
L had to be like up in his chair with his feet up.
The visualization or like fidget spinner. Yeah. He would have a fidget spinner. Go on.
I feel like we need to talk about the scene you're literally pulling up right now, about how that is how L was portrayed to us in the first opening, and the whole time it was like two of them standing on a rooftop. And what does Light do when he gets like L dies?
Yeah,
he immediately goes on top of a rooftop, and what that scene, even with his last interaction with L, is on a rooftop. It's like being above the skyline and looking out at all the buildings is very symbolic for this show to like monumental moments of like a real competition.
Yeah. I this is probably one of my like this is easily my favorite shot of the episode, and it's like it's really really cool, man. Like it's they're on the same level, they're on the same playing field, they're being risen to start a match. It's almost like they're about to have like a Pokemon battle, like
I was
or a
thinking
duel.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, honestly, either interchangeable. That being said, this is a great shot, and I like it. You're right. It's the first thing that like L's still alive in the story, and they're not like acting like he's dead in the slightest. Obviously, they're not through like L's successors, whatever. But like visually, and like the way that they're telling us a story through the shot choice, they are trying to make us think of L right here, and it works really well.
They're making us think of L not only with the imagery choices and shot choices, but also in, I would say this episode compared to the others, Nier has sounded more like L.
Agreed.
Than before. The things that he said and the way he worded things and how he said how many agents there were and basically threw out all the cards on the table is exactly what L would have done.
Yeah. I really thought, I guess it makes sense. Like, do you think Mikami wrote this guy's name in the notebook solely because, like, he knows he's being tailed if he's writing the name in the notebook right here, right? Like,
well, okay. So what we don't know is we know that he was supposed to mail the 5 pages. We just don't know if it's happened yet. So we as the viewer don't know for sure.
He ripped them out. We saw that.
Yes, but we don't know have they arrived in the mail yet, and is Kiyomi using them?
I feel like Kiyomi has received them solely based, like, I think that went into her superiority and confidence in her conversation to Misa.
But she did say something interesting during the conversation, was that she would never do it.
Yeah, I think that's why she had an audible reaction. Light was like, don't have any reaction reading this, and then she did. Like, being a, like, you know, remember early on we had the whole you could be like, people on the internet, if you're anonymous, you could say that you're a fan of Kira kind of thing, but you wouldn't do it in public. Like, now that it's accepted in public, everybody's like saying it. But even if you're a fan of it, that's different than being able to be a Mikami.
The one that kills.
Yeah.
The one that writes the names. It could either be that, or she could have been saying it as, when I write names on the paper, I am not Kiyomi Takeda, I am the voice of Kira.
Yeah.
And, like, separating herself as a person, having that disassociation of, like, she has stepped into a new role. She is a new person when she does that.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't be picking people for her own gain or reason. Therefore, she would not kill Misa, because that would be a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
So she would only
abide
kill
by Kira's
and abide
will.
by Kira's will. Interesting.
I will say that I wish I was as good as Mikami as tearing out pages.
That is not real.
Like,
no one tears pages that clean.
Right?
They must be, like, perforated. But even if they're perforated, it's so hard to tear clean pages.
If there isn't, like, a replica set of Kira Legos or Death Note
like
Legos, there needs to be, and I want them. You know?
That would be such a great, like, figure for the show.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have to have it. You need, like, a Nier, Mello, and L, too.
And then Nier's even acting out the whole imagery of both of them all being on top of buildings with Godzilla.
Yeah. Am I crazy, or didn't Misa's outfit here kind of a little reminiscent of Mello's?
He would totally pick that out for her.
Right? Or himself.
Yes.
I love that it was Christmas. Maybe the end of the show is Light wins and makes his new world on the new year.
Oh.
Yeah, since it's so close in the show, you know?
He'd like that.
Yeah.
2 questions of what I wonder.
Mm-hmm.
First one is, where's Misa going to end up plot-wise in this? Is she just going to be killed? Is she just going to be broken up with and she's not going to be able to do anything about it because she has no memory of Kira and she has no power of her own? And so she's just going to be a scorned lover. Like, oh, wasn't the title of this Scorn?
Yeah.
And then my second is I can't figure out. So Light said something in this episode about how once he gets rid of L and L's legacy, he will be able to take over as the leader of this new world he's created. And I keep wondering if once he feels like there's no threats, he's actually going to put his face out there as Kira. I don't know. I can't figure out if he would forever just be anonymous Kira.
That's a good one.
Or if he'd really want the attention of it. He hated Kira's kingdom painting this picture that he didn't like, and I feel like stuff like that would keep happening.
You know, that's a really good question because he has obviously expressed desire early on to somewhat want the title of the god of this world. And I think I'm probably assuming a little bit, but I think maybe a little bit of him would want other people to know the face of him being that. That being said, it would be a stupid move. Even if 99% of the entire world is behind Kira and wouldn't try to hurt him or kill him, there's always the 1%. Hell, does Nier have a successor picked out? You know, are there going to be other people if Nier and Mello lose that are going to try to, I
don't know, but if you think about it, it could be like any leader of any organization or country or world. They always have people protecting them and bodyguards, and he would probably, if he announced himself as Kira and he had that big of a support and following, especially among different countries, the rebel group that would be against him would have less manpower and less brain power than, say, the people that support him would, and or the people that are willing to go against him. So you'd have to say, well, it would need to be someone as smart as L, another really great successor to L. But it's also it could be somewhat of a death sentence to even try to be a rebel against Light, because a lot of people would support him at that point. So,
though, if I was Light, I would never reveal it, because then you are assuming that there will at no point ever be another, during your lifetime, be another death note dropped to somebody who goes against your will.
I wonder if he's thought about that.
Because
what if another, someone else is bored just like Ryuk and comes down and gives someone else a death note? That would totally ruin his plan.
If they were against Light and Light did come out and say, oh, I'm Kira, this is my face and name, you're kind of screwed then if somebody else gets a death note. To answer your first question, though, about Misa, I don't know, man. I think that I could very easily, the way the story's going, see her survive until the end, because I don't see any reason to kill her from any point of view right now. I just don't see it.
It isn't there. She is no threat.
Exactly.
At all.
That's what I'm trying to say. That she's literally no threat to anybody in the story right now.
The only possibility I could see is if Kiyomi really does become Light's goddess, and she says to him that it would keep her happy if Misa was gone or out of the picture.
In the battle of devotion, I think Misa's is and was more devoted to Light than Kiyomi is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Kiyomi
loves him more, Battle.
I think Kiyomi's more devoted to Kira, and Misa's more devoted to Light.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, Misa's also growing this love for Light now, this different love, without knowing that he's Kira. She's still in love with him even without, and even before, like when she lost her memories the first time, she has had more time both knowing and unknowing of being obsessively in love with him.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I liked Nier's like, if there's one thing we know, he's good with the ladies.
Yeah. And they were like, Nier, be serious.
Yeah. And he's like, but like, I loved that line of dialogue in that exchange because he was like, I am being serious. Like, if they are that obsessed with him, they're going to be a lot harder to break.
His charm, and it means that they're willing to do things for him. I mean, isn't that one of the most dangerous traits someone can have, is charm?
Yeah. Very true.
You ready? You done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bittersweet that the show's ending soon, but let's see what they do with it. Yeah.
I know. I'm just like, I'm nervous for an end because I hate when you get close to a show and you start feeling that like little bit in the back of your mind that's like, I really hope this is wrapped up in a way that I feel satisfied about.
Yeah. Me too. Ugh.
Okay.
I think, okay, one last thing. Obviously we haven't been able to like delve into the community of Death Note because we haven't finished it yet. So we don't know what like the big debates are. I wonder if there is a debate of if they should have ended the show on episode 25 or if they should have ended the show when the series ends.
End the show with that scene of Light being on the top of the building and L having just died.
Yeah, I would guess
I don't think I would have felt empty with that being an ending to
I'd be like,
the
whoa.
show. I would have been like, wow.
But
I wonder what that means for that universe, but I don't think I would have been like upset with that being the ending.
I guess it depends on if Light ends up winning and then ends up going forth with his new world, then I feel like there might be more grounds to, we could have ended it on episode 5. But if something happens to him or he doesn't get what he wants, then it would be harder to make that.
It'd be like, what's the show actually about? Is the show about Light winning, or is the show about the amount of work it takes for multiple successors to try to beat this infamous killer?
Yeah.
What's the true plot to the show?
I'm excited to watch it.
Well, we will watch it.
Yeah, we will. You ready?
Yes, we will. Yep.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.